In this video, I'm going to show you how we turned a niche-specific book into a multi-million-dollar business. Now, I have written 4 best-selling books before the time I turned 30, but what I want to show you specifically is not how I've written a book, but how I've written books that can generate back-end results. And I'm going to walk you through the 4 different ways that our business currently uses my book to generate revenue time and time again, and how we do the same thing for people just like you. Now, I wrote my first book in 2016 at 23 years old after working for the Los Angeles Lakers, and since then, I've written 4 best-selling books and done millions of dollars in sales on the back end of these books. This is my latest book, Big Idea to Bestseller, and here are the 4 ways that I'm going to walk you through on how you can use a book and turn it into a multi-million-dollar business. Step number 1 is coaching clients. Step number 2 is speaking engagements. Step number 3 is online courses or digital products. And number 4 is live events. Now, I'm going to break down each one of these particular ways, how we use them in our business, and how you can use your book and use these ways in your business to maximize your return off the skills you already have, off the customers you already have, off the business ideas you want to create. First and foremost is coaching clients. Let's go ahead and just get this down here on this next tab. So you can see just right here, I have somebody who reached out, fellow Trojan, vice chair of a $1 billion company. She read our book and loved it. And here's the thing. This person ended up becoming a client of ours just because she read the book. So the minute that you write a book, you become the authority on that topic. People immediately believe that if you spend the time and you spend the energy to create a professional book, that you must be knowledgeable or an expert. Now, whether or not this should be the case, it doesn't matter, because we as a society, we put people who write books on pedestals. And when you write a niche-specific book, you're immediately seen as an expert on that topic because you've written the dang book. And so now the way that we can take this perception and we can take the readers and turn them into clients is very simple. You write a niche-specific book. Now, this niche-specific book needs to solve a specific problem or get somebody a specific result. If the reader reads your book and they don't fall in love with you or your process, they're not going to want to hire you. But if they fall in love with you, your style, your methodology, they're going to believe that that is what they need to actually get the results. Number 2 is you need to sell or create a high-ticket offer on the back end of this. If you are already running a successful business, you can plug your current offer into this system. If you are looking to transition your career or raise your rates, you want to have a high ticket offer on the back end of a book. The third thing is use your book to generate awareness. Give your book away, run free plus shipping funnels, do speaking engagements, go on podcasts. Use the book as the entry point to all of these opportunities. We give away hundreds of copies a month of my book, Big Idea to Bestseller. Why? Because I know that the more people who read my book, the more people who are going to work with us or even refer us, which is just as great. Number 4 is you want to create a sales process on how you can convert that attention into paying clients. And then number 5 is you're going to bring on and work with your dream clients. Because when you write a specific book for a specific person, you're going to naturally attract more of those people. And that is what we've seen, is that before I had a specific book for the business, I would generate clients from all different walks of life. But when I have a specific book like Big Idea to Bestseller, we attract our ideal clients over and over and over again. Now, how do we generate high ticket revenue? Well, our business, Big Idea to Bestseller, operates on a high ticket monthly payment model, meaning our clients will pay us anywhere from $1,000 a month to $2,900 a month to $7,400 a month for a duration of time. This allows us to have monthly payments every single month. It also allows us to charge high ticket but break it up. It also allows us to be able to have predictable revenue. It allows us to also work with really, really amazing people. But most importantly, and what I'm trying to say here is that the book allows us to turn people who just read the book into high ticket clients. The first step to using a book for coaching clients, though, is you have to write a great book. If the book isn't good, people won't want your coaching, high ticket service, or they won't know how to actually buy from you because your book doesn't lead directly to it. And so if you want to get some help on this, there's going to be a button. Just click down below and schedule a time to chat with our team. We'll walk you through exactly what your idea should be and then what it could lead to on the back end so that you have a complete roadmap. Number 2 is speaking engagements. This is probably one of my favorite ways to turn my book into revenue, both on the front end and the back end. And here's why. I can get paid to speak and I can get paid on the back end of those speeches. Also, I'm an extrovert and I love being on stage. There's not a ton of better feelings for me than speaking in front of either 50 people or 5,000 people. I love it all. I love having fun. I love engaging with the crowd. And so for me, this is a great way, a great avenue for me to use my book to generate revenue. And the reason that I believe this is one of the best ways to generate revenue and to bring on clients is because when you get to speak, you're speaking in front of somebody's stage where people have already paid money to be there, meaning they're invested. Number 2 is that they trust the host, which means that they trust you because you are a referral of that host. And number 3 is you have 30 minutes to an hour to basically talk about exactly what it is that you do and show them why it will benefit them in the long run. Doing these things will make anybody who's never heard of you, if they're interested in the topic, very interested in what you do. I can't tell you how many people have gone to an event and then they told me, Jake, I knew you were going to talk about books. I never had an intention of writing one, but now I'm sold. I need to write a book. How do I work with you? This happens time and time again. And here's how I personally use my book to generate speaking gigs, which then in turn creates tons of leads and revenue. Number 1 is I build great relationships with people who host events with my ideal client. So if you are a corporate keynote speaker, you may not need to build the relationships with people who host the events right off the bat. You may just need to build relationships with the event coordinators who run the event. For me, I like to speak to a lot of mastermind groups. I like to do a lot of guest coaching. I like to work with a lot of entrepreneurs. Well, they're hosting their own events. And so I like to build relationships with them so that when they host events, they think of me to speak. Number 2 is no matter who and which audience, whether it's a small conference, a big conference, whether it's a mastermind, whether it's a retreat, what I'll do is I'll send copies of my book to the event coordinator or decision maker. I always want the person to see that I'm invested in them. So I'll send copies of my book in advance for them and their team to look over. This is really a ninja trick if you are trying to get onto a speaker circuit faster. When I first started speaking and I didn't know a whole ton and I didn't use the strategy, people would say, Jake, I can't hire you until I've seen you speak. Now, a demo's great, a website's great, all that stuff. But what I realized was that once someone read my book, they felt as if they knew me. And because they felt as if they knew me, they were willing to take a chance on me as their keynote speaker. That enabled me to get speaking gigs much faster than the average person. Step number 3 is you have to deliver a really great speech. Notice how in all of this, you have to do something that actually creates value for people. You have to write a great book. You have to deliver a great speech. You have to be real. You have to be good at what it is. And so what I do is I deliver the best speech possible, trying to meet my audience where they're at in the process. And so for a lot of entrepreneur groups that I'll speak to, I know that they've thought about writing a book or they've maybe crossed their mind, but they never thought it was possible for them or they never thought they had the time. And so my speech will deliver value in the form of instilling belief that they can do it, overcoming the objections I know that they might have, and delivering tons of strategic and applicable value that they can implement right away. Step number 4 is when I'm doing a speech, what I'll do is I'll give books to random people. As you can see from this image above, I'll be like, Oprah, you get a book. You get a book. But I bring in the audience attraction, okay? I'll give it to VIP members. I'll throw it in a VIP swag bag. I'll throw copies underneath chairs and let people all go underneath and see what they feel. These are all really great ways to get the audience involved, to get people to feel that they have a personal connection with you, and for you to also deliver great value to the event host by providing an experience for all of their attendees. Depending on the size of the event, you may want to give more or less books. Number 5 is you want to collect contact information from stage. Now, One of the first things you want to do, though, is make sure you and the event host, whoever stage you're on, has given you permission to do a form of sharing. Some people will want you to sell and split profits. Some people will say, hey, you could give a lead magnet. Some people will say, hey, there's no pitching whatsoever. You want to find that out, and you want to work with the person who's bringing you to speak because it's their event and you're a guest. And you always want to deliver on the relationship first and the value that you can give so that they'll keep inviting you back. But what I love to do, my favorite way to do this is at the end of my talks, I will always have a way for people to get a free book or to get the slides or to get something that is really, really valuable, which puts them into my ecosystem of people I know that are interested in writing a book. Step number 6 is I will qualify and invite those new leads to a call or to join us in Big Idea 2 Bestseller if they are a good fit and if we are a good fit. Not everybody is going to be the perfect person to work with. That's okay. Sometimes I'll get people interested, but either they don't have the budget or they're not the right story or they're not the right book, and we'll refer them out. Our goal is to help people get the best books done. And if it's with us, we know we'll deliver, but if it's not with us, we want to get you to the right people. And then number 7 is we get to work with our perfect client that comes on the back end of them meeting me in person or hearing me speak. And this is a really, really powerful way to generate revenue from speaking engagements. Now let's go to the third one that we're going to talk about, which is digital products or online courses. Now our business model right now really primarily focuses around our high ticket offerings. However, we use digital products and online products to add revenue even when we are not working with someone in a high-end capacity. Or we use this as a way to get people into our world so that they can consume our stuff, spend a little bit of money and get committed, and then eventually want our help to do the higher level services that they either don't know how to do or that they don't want to do. And this is one of my favorite things because I love being able to get an email notification that says, you just got a sale. You just got a sale. It's one of those feelings that when I started online business and this happened to me for the first time, I'll never forget. I'll never forget that I was just out doing something random, and then I got an email saying that I had made a sale. But I wasn't doing any promotion. I wasn't working on the business at the time. I was just out hanging out with friends, and I got this. And so now I always like to have in our business today a component of this. A lot of people, just so you know, if you're watching this and you don't necessarily have a super high ticket business, you can make a ton of money by using a book as a front end to a bigger funnel. Okay. And that's what we do most importantly for us. We love a free plus shipping funnel. And that's what you can see right here. Basically, we give away the book for free. All that we ask is that the reader pays and covers for shipping. This is how we can liquidate some of our ad spend, but it's also how we can cover our costs and still get books out to people all over the world. Now, what's really cool is that on average, we make about $20 per free book. The way that we do this is through different upsells. And you can see this is a screenshot from ClickFunnels, which shows us, which is the software that we use for this particular platform. And we averaged $20.32 from the most recent analytics that I pulled. Now, here's how that breakdown works. You books for free. You offer an upsell. Okay. So they pay for shipping. Then you offer an upsell. Then you offer an upsell. Then you offer an upsell. And they go in with a free book. And some people could spend upwards of $200, $300, $1,000, depending on what your funnel actually is. Not to mention, once they're in your system and they've already purchased your book, well, you know they're a good fit. So now you can pursue them and communicate with them and invite them to book calls with yourself, your team, or whoever it is to see if they want more additional support. We also have other products and services that are online programs, but this is one of my favorite ways we leverage my book, Big Idea 2 Bestseller. Now, if you want to go through our exact free plus shipping funnel and you want to see it in real time,